How do you bridge the gap between what you have in your space and what you actually love? Welcome back to Armchair Rearranging, where you send in pictures of your spaces and I give you design advice for free. And today I'm here with my friend Izzy, who's a realtor. She understands the dilemma of when you're buying something builder grade, how it can be really overwhelming to bridge that gap between what you want and what you have.
You know, in the purchasing of a home, it can be really hard to visualize how your personal style and what's there in front of you is going to meld together. And that's a process that I really value fleshing out for you.
So here is what we're working with, and let's just show you a sneak peek of where we're going. And we're gonna walk you through how to get here. So this is Caitlin's Pinterest board. She has a lot of warm tones, a lot of white, a lot of visual texture, and her builder grade kitchen is not adding up to this. So
right off the bat, we went ahead and added a fridge and pendants to the space. The pendants being visually the center of your viewpoint, this already makes a huge statement in the aesthetic direction that Caitlin would like to go.
So the next thing that Caitlin could do is removing the splash guard. This will add a much more modern look, and it's not very hard to do. We would also recommend adding in a backsplash at this point. This will add a lot of visual interest and take the kitchen to the next level. Caitlin decided to go the backsplash route. We would recommend putting it all along the back there and then ending it here with a cap and keeping this line.
As a realtor, one of the first things that caught my eye is this vent pipe right above the microwave being exposed. We did some research and we found some really cool vent caps on Etsy, either made out of wood or metal, that would aesthetically elevate this pipe so that it's not so visually jarring. They're very cool. They have a variety of different metal cutouts you can do or wood cutouts, and it adds a little bit of texture above your cabinetry where else it would be just a pipe.
And you can put in whatever dimensions that you need and they'll make it exactly to size.
It's a great solution.
Another easy change would be to upgrade the hardware. Right now there's not any contrast between the hardware and the cabinets, and Caitlin could even spray paint these holes if she wanted to. We'd recommend something with a nickel finish that adds a little bit of that vintage personality and then also adds some contrast.
Moving on to the window, we noticed that this side of the cabinetry was a little bit lacking in visual weight. While there's a lot of cabinets over here, there's not the same amount of cabinetry above, and with the window having no window treatments on it, it felt a little lackluster. So what we did was we added a Roman shade here. That's a great way to have an excuse to add some patterns and warmth in the space. And it gives it a little bit more of a reason to pull your eye in this direction. Another optional thing that you could do is add curtains on top of the Roman shade. That gives it a little bit more bulk even on this side of the room so that everything feels a little bit more balanced.
So also to help with adding symmetry with the cabinets, we would recommend adding some sort of standalone unit over there. This is a great way to add in something vintage. Look on Facebook Marketplace. This is a more antique version, but Caitlin could also do kind of like a 70s version if she wanted. And this is another just great way to balance out the kitchen and add in some personality.
When looking at Caitlin's Pinterest board, you do see a lot of warm tones. And to continue that sentiment, I would definitely suggest a warmer toned bar stool, counter stool technically. These low back counter stools are a great transitional piece that can swing either retro or vintage, depending on the accessories and textures around it.
So another great way to make a kitchen feel more personal is to accessorize, just like you would in any other room. So we've added in a little lamp in the corner, a cutting board, a bowl. We would also recommend adding some sort of rug. Caitlin had some great options on her Pinterest board. Maybe a runner here or here. Accessorizing is just a great way to add in more interest and add in more warmth and create a space that feels more like you and less like a developer did it. So as a reminder, here's where we started. This is where we ended up.
We know it can be a really daunting task to marry what you have in front of you and what you'd ideally like. And the way to do that is to carefully select pieces, lean on the transitional, and make your statement with accessories, texture, and patterns.